And speaking of that,
Welcome. Over the Top Podcast Sports Edition. It's your boy HD here with the Over the Top Podcast Sports crew. We're gonna start with Brother Q. What's going on, Q?
I think if Boston comes back from 3-0, league is rigged.
B, what's going on, B Fate?
What's happening, man?
Oh man, I can't call it. The Scarlet RJ, what's the deal, bud? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain.
Good.
Been an interesting day, man.
Interesting day. Gotcha. Last but certainly not least, the playmaker G. What's the deal, buddy?
Hey man, I'm good. I had some Popeye's chicken. I'm sorry I'm late.
You got the Popeyes?
Yeah.
Popeyes?
Yeah. If I got to cut out early, you know why.
Wait. I mean, okay.
You had white or dark meat.
White or dark meat. I'm a time man myself. I don't know. Whatever jump into it, man. I mean, what we talking about? What we missed? The Lakers is out the playoffs. Is there the news there? Is there news there? They go at you, B Frank. That's your squad. What's your assessment of the year?
They ain't have no more gas. I don't know. Denver looked like they wanted to win a championship. They really did. They look good. You can't take that away from them. I think it's going to be boring. I don't think they the only people that's going to be excited is people in Colorado. But other than that,
you may have a Deion Sanders showing.
Man.
What's your thoughts on that, Q?
I mean, I'm going to be excited because I very much like how Denver plays their offense. But that's just me. I like how they play their offense is very fun basketball to me. They can get out and run, and if they can't get out and running and get those their shooters on the corner, then they can set up in the half court. The pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Joker. That's it's been proven nobody in the past few years has been able to stop that. When both of them on the same floor, they get to West Conference Finals, and now they get to the finals.
Well, this is the first time they got to the Western Conference Finals. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They've been stopped a couple times now.
Okay,
this
so
is the first time
I said when those two, Joker and Murray on the floor, they really have been stopped, except for in the bubble when Anthony Davis remember he can shoot mid ranges, because I don't know what happened to AD this year, or let me phrase that, this postseason. Last year they weren't together. This year they're together, and now they're in the finals. Because it is very hard to stop that pick and roll with both of them, and then with the shooters they got on that team.
You gonna watch the finals, RJ?
Yeah, man. The kids. My son came into the room and was talking to me about school.
Well, do you think Denver? You think Denver is just a boring team in the final?
No, I think it's an excellent. I'm gonna call you in a minute. I think it's an excellent final, man. In terms of once Milwaukee lost, it was a wide open playoffs to me. The fact that Boston has not taken a lead and done what they're capable of doing is really fun for me, because I'm happy for Ime Udoka. I don't like what he did, but I think they did not realize how special he was at being able to unite those players and make those guys play together. And he did an excellent job, because Brad Stevens couldn't do it and Dom Mazzulla is struggling to do it now. thinking about it, it would have probably been a better finals if it would have been the Celtics and
Well, they still playing, so we don't know. I mean, the Celtics may run the table. They may run the table. You know, we ain't the fat lady ain't son yet in Paradise Question.
I don't think that's gonna happen, man.
But, I mean,
it would be interesting. I just don't think that's gonna happen because I think the one thing somebody said in the breakdown I heard on ESPN today that was really deep. They play too much one-man basketball, and each one of them are ball dominant. And so the issue is if Marcus Smart is initiating your offense, that's a scary thought. Because Marcus is he's a defensive 2-3 guarder. I mean, like he's a shooting guard, person that can guard a 3. So looking at but I want to ask you a question. Looking at the Nuggets, they probably are, to me, getting the best out of their talent. Most talented and the best working teammates right now. And they got a starter, man, who's distributing the ball. He's doing a hell of a job, man, in terms of bringing the ball up the court.
He's the best player of the team, personally, in my opinion.
He doesn't work. If he doesn't work, if Murray doesn't work, though, you got to think about it like.
I'm talking about Murray. I'm not talking about Joe. I think Jamal Murray is the best player on the Denver Nuggets basketball team.
Work as well if
I think it's kind of like looking at LeBron and Kyrie playing together. And what I mean by looking at LeBron and Kyrie was just a killer at the end of the game. LeBron was more or less a facilitator and can play off the ball. And so playing with Kyrie was like, it was great because Kyrie wanted to take that last shot and could get anywhere on the floor with the ball. So Jamal Murray is that same kind of player in terms of being able to get anywhere he wants to get on the floor. And that creates opportunities for Jokic, Michael Porter Williams. Man, they said they just haven't. I mean, some of them shots I seen Pope make, man, wasn't nobody on him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting paid millions of dollars and your job is to shoot a basketball, muscle memory, bro, you should be. And I think that's what they was killing. They was killing like that, man.
Yeah, what do you think the Lakers need for next year to make a run?
Kyrie.
I think they need a little bit more than Kyrie. I think they need a defensive guard or swing person that can defend opposing team's number one player. But I got a question to the panel. So this was Ham's first year. What do y'all think of his performance for this first year?
As a Lakers fan,
as a basketball fan,
okay.
fan.
Oh, because I was about to say, okay, as a basketball fan, he showed some promise. Now, him going 3-guard lineup for a majority of a series against a big Denver team is completely outrageous. In fact, he did it multiple times, especially with D'Angelo Russell shooting how he was, which was terrible in this series. But up until that point, he coached us into wins. And against Denver, like I said, D'Angelo Russell shooting us out of games and him keeping him on the floor because for some reason he says, well, we need more offense on the floor, and D'Angelo Russell's not doing anything.
But that's
not drawing up.
Your thoughts, B. Let get B thoughts. Your thoughts, B.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. To me, I don't think he did a terrible job. But to be honest, with Monty Williams sitting out there floating around, I'll go get him. I know this Ham first year, but I'll go get Monty because I feel like he's proven. Ham would take an advantage. It would be an advantage of his if he sit amongst proven coaches this offseason, and he broadened. I think
Oh, wait a minute. He didn't prove himself this year?
Man, I'm just going to be honest. I think a lot of that I think some of it was him. And then I think some of it was LeBron. And at the end of the day, it's got to be more of him to me, because LeBron.
Hey, man. Hold on. I think the man bought himself another year.
I'm not saying he need to be fired.
I think the Lakers actually superseded their expectations. I understand. I understand Lakers fans in the championship or bust. But come on now, guys. I think
So I'll say we started the season at 2-10. We weren't even supposed to be here.
Correct.
So
I think he bought himself. I think he bought himself another year at the helm.
I knew.
Go ahead, Gary.
If they made good trades and put themselves in a better position, they would make the playoffs. And I knew they can make a deep run. They can make a strong run in the playoffs. That wasn't a worry. The problem is getting them up every day to compete. That's why I think Ham struggles, getting them up to compete every day.
Well, and from my viewpoint, and I'm not a Lakers hater or a Lakers fan, but AD has always been a question mark in my opinion. And I think he got a lot out of AD this year. Even though AD did take some games off, I still think he got a lot out of AD. Hell, AD finished the season. That's an accomplishment within itself.
Now that is.
Now what he did in those games where he was off, I don't know how much of an accomplishment that was. Except,
man, you better look at them stats again. Even when AD's off, he's still better than 75% of the centers in the big men in the league. Even on an off night. Look at the stats. Go to the stats.
Okay, but here's the thing.
The only
you said better.
Stats are not everything. I've told you how someone can have 30 points on 30 attempts.
Well,
but 30 is 30 points.
30 is 30. I mean,
but
I don't
30
know.
on 30 attempts is not 30.
Hey, you know what? I never thought about that until I went to a Georgetown game. And my uncle pointed it out to me, man. Y'all remember Chris Smith to play for UConn?
No.
He shot 30 sometimes in a college game and had 30 points. And he said, man, he put up 32. He said, man, he shot 30 times. And that's the first time it ever really made me think of like a volume shooter and how that affects the team. But man, just being honest with you, I think Darvin did a great job to me. I think some of it was LeBron, but some of it was him being able to. And I think they found players. The thing that I'm disgusted with is Russell's lack of meeting the moment.
I think Russell played with the hype from before. I don't know. I want to say the stage got a little too big for him because he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He didn't meet the moment.
You know what? How I started to look at it. I started to look at it like Russell, what Reeves did, and the other kid, I can't think of his name right
Lonnie
now.
Walker or
Lonnie Walker.
Was it
and Reeves and
Vanderbilt?
And Hashimura.
Rudy.
When they had those big games, they were all over ESPN. They was all over the news. I felt like Russell began to look for that light. He wanted his time, just like he wanted his ESPN time. Right. A lot of times I feel like you shooting us out the game. You need to stop.
Hey, LeBron almost shot y'all out of the game a couple of times too. Now.
No.
LeBron.
Hold on a second. I'll say LeBron did. LeBron, not almost. I think game 2 and game 3, LeBron did shoot us out the game.
Yeah, he did.
I mean the guy. If it's a small ball player, though, man, I don't think you got to be a volume shooter, but you got to keep shooting. If you're a 2, you 1, 2, or 3, you gotta keep shooting, man.
It all depends who you talking about. Cause and one example about keep shooting that hurts them is Boston. When Boston started missing threes, they try to shoot themselves in the game. By the time you get in the game, they down by 15. It's a matter. Sometimes you guys switch it up. Sometimes you guys switch it up.
That's their offense. Like I was listening.
I'm just saying. I don't mean to jump teams, but.
Yeah, I was listening to ESPN today though. When they put it in proper context, she said, man, listen, when they're up in the game, they essentially at times, because they're a 3-point offense, shoot themselves out of the game. Like if they're up by 5 or 6 and extending the lead, it's harder for you to extend the lead if you don't get 8 points. And if you think about it, the majority, they don't. Williams is the only post player that I see, because like you said, Al Horford is elbow, wing.
Al Horford is also 38. Jesus.
I mean, even when he was a young buck, he wasn't no banger. You know what I'm saying?
But paint points are not just post ups. You can get paint points with layups, and they got the ability to drive the ball with Tatum and Brown. And Smart, they can get into the paint, take somebody off the dribble.
You think I'm gonna jump into the Lakers, Kyle? I'm curious to hear what everybody say. You think LeBron gonna need to be the second option or the third option?
He needs to be second option.
To play longer. The reason why I say that because right now LeBron playing 45 minutes a game.
Insane.
Next year, I don't know if he's gonna be able to handle all those minutes per game.
That was
bring somebody in like a Trae Young at the point. And bring you, man.
You gonna try to sell me that Trae Young?
Somebody like a Trae Young. I know you don't like him, Bell, but somebody like a Trae Young, boy. Somebody like a Trae Young.
Wait. Before you explain your reason.
Hold on. Explain to him.
Explain your reason about Trae Young.
You need somebody on the floor that can carry the point system of the game while LeBron get rest. You're going to have to knock LeBron minutes down to probably 25 to 30 minutes a game, maybe 25 minutes a game. In order to do that, you need somebody dominant to put the ball in the basket. Now, you can do a Kyrie.
So Trae Young is better than Kyrie?
No, Trae Young's younger than Kyrie. I don't know is Kyrie going to be able to do that on a consistent level?
That's discussion.
I trust him more than I trust Trae. Yeah.
What you say, Gary?
I think that's worth the discussion. Kyrie versus
Okay,
but here's the thing, y'all. I was gonna say this to a little later. Here's my thought process. You know, LeBron, for the first time we heard him talk like, I'm considering retirement. To me, when I heard him, I was like, okay, LeBron in his bag. Meaning,
and I got something to say about that when you're done.
I was like, LeBron in his bag right now. Right now, he want LA thinking. He want the front office thinking. He want them rambling. What can we do to convince him to give us another year, to give us 2 more years? And the seriousness of it is, you got to bring somebody in here. Somebody got to come. Nobody needs to leave, but somebody got to come. And I think part of that is he's going to play that. He's going to play that Kyrie card. He's going to play that Kyrie card, and because he knows I need their help. And whatnot.
I'm gonna ask you a question: if Kyrie against Murray, Kyrie becomes a liability if he don't score?
When is he not going to score?
Well, I mean.
No. I will say.
Now I'm gonna go back real quick. I want to talk about that point. I think that was an Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to call him a B move, but that was a witch move. To even proclaim you're gonna retire before the finals start. Go home and win out the finals. Don't be trying to insinuate to keep your name in the miles or the NBA finals, LeBron James. Don't be trying to play somebody you ain't gonna retire. Shut up. Okay, I digress.
No. I would agree with you if this wasn't NBA media. And I was going to ask this later. NBA media is going to talk about LeBron retiring regardless of what he said. And we know this because that's all NBA media talks about is LeBron. Whether he's having a good game, a bad game, whether he talks to media or doesn't. Because LeBron, unfortunately, gets the most clicks. So they're going to just say, well, instead of just them speculating, is LeBron going to retire this season? Is LeBron going to... LeBron's come out and said, I don't know. Because LeBron just played 48 minutes, dropped 40 points, and still lost. At that point, that's going to take a toll on somebody. If you really at 38, you put everything you got, and you still lost. That will put anything into question.
So you said well, you should have cashed it in or something early. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I
Here's
don't
the
No,
know.
I'm
thing.
saying
He
I'm saying
can't
go
do
back to
what
the
he
original
did.
combo and get him some more help so he doesn't have to play
He can't
48
do what he
minutes.
did He can't do what he did years past.
Exactly.
And the
He
40
cannot.
and the 48 minutes weren't as impactful as he might have had maybe 5 years ago. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really reflect on it, man, it almost makes me think. I don't like to say this, but god dang, dude, he got to be on EPO or something. 82 games at
Yeah.
38.
Yeah,
Now he
well,
done
he's
lost
about
weight.
in great shape, and he's about to surpass Kareem for the most minutes, the most minutes
No,
played in NBA history.
and mind you,
Them boys, there's a lot of miles on
and
the
mind
legs.
you, 48 minutes at the end of a season where he was playing the playoffs hurt, and he got hurt during the regular season.
No.
I mean,
We're not gonna mention that because he played. If he
But
didn't,
you, but you got,
if he hurt,
you got,
But
you got to
don't
you got
play.
he
to
was
think
coming
about it
off
this
of
way.
an injury in the
So,
regular season
But
too.
man, I can't remember who I was listening to, but he said something that's really cool about, like, if you really think about it, most guys that are veterans understand how to still rest in the midst of the game in the Florida, and they know how to take plays off and be present but be a threat. And that's what he was able to do with Kyrie, because Kyrie would just do his thing. He would get the double coverage, then he'd throw it open to an open shooter. So you got the formula. Like I like Reeves, I like Hachimura. They've shown that they can be counted on. I run it back and I go ahead and play Kyrie, man. If I'm the Lakers.
who do you get, man? You get Kyrie too?
Yeah.
You crying Kyrie too, playmaker?
Crying.
No. So you got Kyrie and Reeves? Is that your guards?
Yeah.
Yes. Austin Reeves shot like 40% from three in his last 4 games.
Hey, all I know is this: when you get a kid like he's not intimidated. The moment wasn't too big for him.
I'm not offensively great, but you got to play on both sides of the court. Who's going to be your primary defender?
We
Let
have
me ask you this question: besides in the West,
Mhm.
name me the two guard besides Murray that you really. Murray and Murray and Fox are the only two that I can think of in the West. I'm not.
That play both sides. That does mean that play deep both sides, offense and defense.
I'm not. Man, listen. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Booker got off in the Milwaukee series, and they still lost. I don't care.
We didn't talk about
points coming off the bus. Is that what you tell me? You giving up 40 points coming off the bus?
Here's the thing.
So like I was gonna say, we have a 6'8" lockdown defender that didn't get any minutes in this Denver series because we were hoping D'Angelo Russell was gonna find his shots.
Well,
I agree, but what is he gonna play? Is he gonna
play the 4? He's 6'8".
But
are you gonna put him? Okay.
Go ahead, Bell.
Here's my thing. I think we kind of looking at this wrong. You know, with the addition of Kyrie, everybody's talking about the lockdown defender. Kyrie put a lot of pressure on the defense himself. So, and even the matchup with Denver, now Murray got to bust his behind and play defense. So when you got to play defense, when you
that's actually correct now.
Well, how did Dallas fare? Hold on. How did Dallas fare against Phoenix this year?
Who?
How did Dallas fare against Phoenix this year?
I don't think Dallas would currently play Phoenix this year.
What you talking about? I knew Dallas wasn't going to be. When I didn't understand the trade for Kyrie going to Dallas.
That wasn't a good trade.
They were trying to replace Bronson.
But yeah, let Luka do his thing. They need to add more pieces around Luka. They need to. That's where their concentration should have been, more around him instead of putting Kyrie there and whatnot.
Like,
and Kyrie,
you know who
he wanted out of Brooklyn so bad, but I just look at him going to LA. That just creates trouble. I don't think anybody. Listen, nobody wanted LA to make meaningful trades this year. everybody got on their toes and they kind of got afraid. I'm not saying they got shoot where we got a plan, but it was proven if you give LA players that they can make moves and whatnot. And I agree with what I read what Beasley said today. If you give us a training camp after the season we just had, and we get a training camp under our belt, we go to the finals. I kind of somewhat agree with that, because now you get them to jail, you get them to a whole year together, and if you can get Kyrie in there for a whole training camp and the season and whatnot, it's not about the defense. I think it's more about when LeBron leaves the floor, you just don't leave AD.
So
when AD leaves the floor, you just don't leave LeBron. So now you still
I
got
don't mind Kyrie. I don't mind Kyrie going to LA. So I mean, you look at the stats. Him and Booker average about the same this year, 22 points a game. But you may pick up you another big man. You may pick up Aiden. You pick up you another solid big man.
Man, they're not trading that
Now,
dude.
here's the thing. First off, I told you this before.
They need a big man. LA need a
Phoenix is not trading him. It was man. They let go. Man, they let go. They let go. Monty Williams was one of the most well-respected individuals in the NBA.
That's why I said there ain't no telling what Phoenix is gonna do. That was dumb. You brought in KD.
They let money go because of Aiden.
Huh?
And that's the point I'm trying to make.
They let money go because
so
of
as a coach, like I'm gonna tell you the only coach that's gonna go there and really be able to actively help them and win that locker room is a Mark Jackson.
Go where?
But I don't think they'll give him the job. I think he deserves it. Yeah.
I think Phoenix gonna have a problem this year because I think you're gonna have a disgruntled KD because you got rid of Monty Williams. I think Phoenix in trouble.
Like
you know what? Oh no, stop. I don't, man, I be getting all this ESPN stuff jumbled up in my head, but they was like, man, what's KD's number? 35 and 1. It was Booker 1, right?
What now?
What's KD's number? 35, right? And Booker's number's 1, right?
Yeah.
They said they was like 36 is fine with the firing of Monty Williams. I'm telling you, Slim. I heard the Bama say it on the, and I heard him say it on the radio.
I believe you. I find it hard to be. I think that one reason KD would got a birth because he had no coach.
Here's my question: who do you find? Because the best I heard so far, and it's just my opinion, is Doc Rivers. And I'm just gonna be honest. Doc Rivers is not the best. KD is not getting to listen to Doc Rivers.
No,
not at all.
So my thing is, if he's almost the best.
The kid got out of Milwaukee. You gonna put him over there?
No, he horrible. No,
he shouldn't get another job anyway.
No,
he shouldn't get another job for the next few years.
Budenholzer, no.
If I'm Philly, I'm calling Money Will. I called him yesterday. Yo, bro, come on, come on.
Let's do a coach's trade. We'll trade Darvin Ham to Philly for money.
Oh, that I'll take that trade.
We're gonna get Doc.
I'll take that one.
I don't know what Phoenix gonna do, man. It's not a lot out there. You gonna go unless you going strictly young or with no experience. Not a lot out there.
Well, they got to get rid of. They ain't got any assets, so they're gonna have to get rid of somebody.
Well, like I said, I think Paul's gone. I think Chris Paul's out of there.
Well, you ain't gonna trade him for nobody. Who's gonna pick up Chris Paul?
Well, you mad to come?
I think they're gonna stand pat because his contract guaranteed. I think they're gonna bring him back, but I think they're gonna limit his role.
You can cut him before the deadline. You won't have to pay him as much.
I think they're gonna limit his role, though, man. I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna cut down his minutes.
He's coming off the bench, Ron. He only playing with 10 minutes a game now.
Who?
Paul? No, he was starting. He was starting.
You can't
I think he was playing. I think he was playing. I don't know his minutes. Hey, Q, what's his minutes?
I got you right now.
I mean, ain't too much. You missed a man. He played with the third team. After a while,
he had 32 minutes this year.
That's a lot at 36, 37. And you gotta think about this. You got to
At
think about this.
38, he ain't in LeBron shape.
Listen.
He's 38.
Well, all them dudes is the same. They vegan. They all vegan. So they went through the whole diet and all that. He lost a Rockaway too. It's just that he's not. To me, honestly, the soft tissue injuries are always going to get in. But if I'm there, I find a way strategically to pay him probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 28 minutes until the playoff. Because you can't. You're not going to find, like, if you talk open market, there are not any young players that's going to replace his production in terms of being able to run a team.
What do you think about that, G?
Well, I mean, they got a backup point guard in Payne. He's nowhere near Chris Paul's status, but he's been with the team for a number of years. So they got. I just think they need more on that roster, on that bench, to make that team successful.
Okay. Bear, you gonna talk about the Heat earlier. What's your diagnosis on Miami?
They just seem like a joke to me. I don't know why. I don't mean no disrespect. Miami, I don't know. They gotta. I don't know how they going, but they going. They winning. It's almost like Jimmy get in the locker room, and it's almost like he smack everybody, he scare everybody, and they come out different players. Because I just don't understand them. You play balls out in the playoffs, but like all year you're so up and down. Even Jimmy Butler, you're so up and down. But now it's playoff time, and you want to just straight ball out. I don't know.
I know why too, because if you look at Miami's roster, a lot of them they're not well-known players, well-known pieces. And
undrafted.
A lot of them they don't go all out they coast. They coast all throughout the regular season. They get the wins they need to win so they can make it to the playoffs. So when they get in the playoffs like this, they have all the energy in the world, while these other teams, they're tired by the time they get there. So by the time that's it. LeBron, for example, playing all those minutes, you get to the playoffs, he's tired. Anthony Davis get there, he's tired. Kawhi Leonard tried to do what they do in Miami, but he got there, he got hurt.
You on to something, Q. I'm gonna tell you what Q's on to, and I don't think he it's the one little thing he didn't tell you. Player development. They're the best at it in the league.
They are.
So if you identify the fact that you get guys that are undrafted and you're able to squeeze as much talent out of them, and your bench and your rotation is large. And so when you get to the playoffs, that helps you out a lot. So you know what I'm saying? And so
what you guys essentially saying is Pat Riley basically is a mastermind.
No, yeah. I think player development. Man, listen, man. Could I? I'm gonna switch sports real quick. Bobby Beathard was the best GM I ever seen. But you know why he was very good at his job? Because he had Joe Gibbs to develop the players, and they had a first-class staff, and they had a first-class training staff. Know why the Eagles have been successful? Player development. So if in any sport that you participate in, baseball, basketball, hockey, player development is the thing that separates one organization from another. Like people were saying, they felt like, what's the young name, Watanabe? The reason why he went to goddamn Spurs is because they kind of rigged it as such.
Oh, Wembanyama.
Yeah, I can't say the little brother's name, but I should say little big brother. But
I mean, he didn't say Papa about 2 more years. Papa give him a bit, man. But I'm asking a question though, Ron.
Oh, stop! Let Ron get done. Go. Ron.
I'm sorry. Let me cut you off. Let me cut you off.
When I think about the player development aspect of it, that's the core thing. Like it's a number of players that come into the league that never max out, and nobody thinks Tony Parker's going to be who Tony Parker is. Ginobili is good. You get the best out of a defensive player who is really just barely a borderline NBA player, but he plays his ass off. I can't even think of the dude's name. 2-1 for them. You win with a diminished Sean Elliott. Y'all, man, people don't remember how good Sean Elliott was before he really got sick and had the kidney issues. Those Arizona teams were stacked. Pop, player development, aspects of what Spoelstra is doing, player development. That's why the Wizards suck. They don't have no player development. So what did they do? They went out and hired a guy from a good organization today to go in and take over every aspect of the team and work on player development. And, you know, we had a guy in D.C. for years, Ernie Grunfeld. He stinks. The dude shouldn't have been in the league, man. So, I mean, like I got to give Pelinka credit. Pelinka did a heck of a job this year. And rearranging that roster, getting D'Lo, getting people out of L.A. that didn't want to be there, getting rid of Russell's. I didn't think he was going to be able to get rid of Russell's contract. Like, nobody believed that. That in and of itself was a move.
But you know what? I kind of feel like Pelinka had to do something. He had to do something because
he was on a hot seat.
Yeah, he was really on a hot seat. But
I ain't saying he not, but what I am saying is I acknowledge the fact that he did what he did because I mean, you know, heck, Stephen A had him fired 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people didn't wrote his eulogy a number of times.
Mm-hmm. But I guess I agree with you. I just feel like I just really feel like Spoelstra, he's the head coach on paper, but Pat Riley is always going to be Pat Riley, and he's going to have his hands in the midst of everything. So, you know, I kind of just give him. I kind of give him the behind the scenes credit.
Right, go ahead.
I think Spoelstra's a good coach, though, man. Spoelstra is a good X and O coach. I think we give him a bad rap because he inherited a young LeBron, and those players weren't ready to win yet. You know what I'm saying? Together.
I tell you what, go ahead. I want you to go ahead. You jump in there, G. I'm gonna tell my point.
I mean, I think you got to give Miami's coach some credit. I mean, when I look at that Miami team right now, everybody knows their role. Nobody tries to play above and beyond what their capabilities are, and they play as a unit. That in itself is enough to win ball games in itself. You ain't got nobody trying to figure out who is the star. It is buckets. Next question. Who's supposed to be rebounding? Everybody. Next question. Who's the hustle guy? Everybody. Next question. So I think that they were very well coached. And I can't put that all on the man sitting in the third row. I got to give it a little bit of credit to the head coach because he's not turning back looking at Pat Riley to guide him during the game and make a game time decision. He is running his team, and he's been in position for a number of years. He's not a first-year coach. I mean, this man has been there. Yeah, if he gets into trouble, yeah, he may go and ask the great Pat Riley, but I think this man can stand on his own from what he has done in Miami.
I'm gonna argue say this, that Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra is the best GM basketball coach in the last 10 years of the NBA.
I say longer.
How many rings has Miami got?
2.
No.
Oh wait.
I mean, he got how many?
You said 10 years.
No, with Spoelstra, wasn't it there? Who won with Shaq and D Wade?
That wasn't supposed to be there. That was Pat Riley.
Pat Riley. They rise to that sports.
Pat Riley fired old boy to get that ring. He fired old boy. He fired Stan Van Gundy.
Stan Van Gundy. But think about success with Spoelstra and Riley. If they won championships, they get to the finals. Now they had some rough years.
The issue, I think the issue that what we kind of missing out on is this: when you're repeatedly good in the NBA, that means your coaching and your system is good, right?
Correct.
And you don't get to draft top flight players. You're not in the lottery. So it's hard to stay afloat if your coach is a good coach. You know, like what Golden State was able to do, they essentially tanked and got Looney and then came back and got Kuminga. Looney, Kuminga, and the Wiseman too. But Wiseman didn't work out. Not Kuminga, I'm sorry. Wiseman and Looney.
I think Kuminga was drafted. He was draft pick too. I think a second round pick.
Okay. But anyway, those guys that they were able to get, man, I mean, they went from the top drawer to the bottom rung. Because a lot of players, you know, got hurt or whatever. Their level of success, it's hard in the NBA, the way the modern NBA is set up, to have maybe more than 4 or 5 year run with any team. Think about what I'm saying. Because you're not going to get any of the top quality players unless you get players like the Bucks, homegrown star. Giannis drops to him, and he becomes Giannis.
But I don't think we give Jimmy Butler credit of being an all-star because of his weak. He just kind of gets in. But I don't think we give him a seat at the big boy table. I don't think he gets to sit at the big boy.
If he hasn't earned that from these past playoff, his 3 of the last 4 playoff performances, the bubble, the year after that, they couldn't do anything. Last year they were a shot away from the finals. What he's doing this year, Jimmy Butler is the leader that you want in a locker room.
But when we talk about,
I think when you look at him, he doesn't do any one thing great. That's what I think it is. I think he doesn't do any one thing great. So like when people start looking at his game, you know, people look at reason to disqualify players more than qualify.
Which is a problem, a big problem.
What you say, Bell?
I was just gonna say, you know, I think you called him an all-star. I even have a problem with that, and I got a small problem with Jimmy. You know, it's like, to me, he kind of look at him, and it's not wrong. It's how he look at himself. It's not wrong, but he puts himself in a space where, like, you know, I'm above. Because have you not noticed this dude will make an all-star team and will not play, voluntarily will not play. It don't mean anything to him.
He ain't won a ring though.
You look surprised when I said that. What do you think about that?
Ron was saying he hadn't won a ring. Go ahead, man.
No, he hadn't won a ring.
That's the thought process. You got to think about. I want to say one thing. I'm sorry, dude. I want y'all to think about one thing. Jordan didn't do the dunk contest after his 3rd or 4th year. So a lot of people go to the All-Star game and say they legs.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think the thing with Butler is, and somebody else said, I can't remember, but Butler is not a guy who's taking you to the rim like John Morant. He's not shooting threes like Steph Curry. He's doing everything that he can to get his team to victory. And I think I think people don't always recognize that, because he's not getting 50 rebounds a night. He's not throwing up 50 points a night. He's doing some of the little things that don't always make it into the stat sheet. And I think people don't see that. But I think if you are a true basketball fan and you say, well, how is Miami still staying relevant year after year? All fingers point back to the coaching and Jimmy Buckets.
I agree. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, and we'll come back to basketball. But I want to get this on tape and see what you guys think. What's your thoughts on what JJ Redick said to Stephen A. Smith on when it comes to the HBC, South Dakota, Winston, wherever it is? Talk
First
on
of all,
it.
let me.
Can we please take Q off first?
Yeah.
Duke fan, JJ Redick fan. JJ Redick, one of my favorite players. First off, we're acting like JJ Redick knows what Winston-Salem State is. He doesn't. Let's
He
not
do.
pretend he does.
Yes, he does.
He went to Duke.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
He went
exactly.
to
He
Duke.
went to Duke.
Right.
He went
Duke is 45 minutes up the road from Winston-Salem State University.
That's why he said Winston-Salem State.
JJ Redick, who was a star at Duke, who could walk down, who probably come go to class without some woman trying to get his autograph and trying to leech off him, left campus to go to Winston-Salem State at all?
No, but he know where it's at.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Q. Hey man, low key, man. Listen, man, them dudes will come over and every now and again come in the gym and get a run. Okay, like not like it wasn't consistently. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Jerry Braswell tried to dunk on me in the gym, and I like to broke his goddamn on. He tried to literally dunk on me. I grabbed his elbow, but I say that to say this.
I'll be back after that.
Those cats came over to Winston-Salem State. Man, hell, I shot dice outside of God dang it, what's the gymnasium? Me, Charles Harrison, my high school peer, may he rest in peace, and Randolph Childress, right before Freaknik. Nigga messed up my daggone. I was winning too. I was getting my money back. Got daggone Marcus and Marcella Beatty got the fight.
Crazy.
So yeah, you be surprised at how many of them dudes know where we are. Hell, Brian Fagan's got shot at Aggie Fest.
Chris
So
Paul,
I mean,
get his graduate degree there, ain't they?
I think so.
That's where.
Hey, Chris Paul, you graduated.
So that's
Chris Paul got his undergrad at Winston-Salem State. He's doing a lot of stuff.
That's the only degree he got is Winston-Salem State, right?
Yeah.
So that was gonna be my first point. My first point was wrong. My second point was gonna be JJ Redick all he did was say what a lot of other athletes say when they jump into the role. Shannon Sharp said it to Skip a lot. There's a bunch of other athletes who've said it to Skip. There's athletes who've said it to Stephen A. The problem that I think a lot of people are having now is specifically because he said North Dakota, Winston-Salem State. That's the only problem that people are actually having with it, because there's people who went to Winston-Salem State, and Winston-Salem State is a big deal, and because he went to the school that was 45 minutes.
What'd your mother say? What'd your mother say?
Wait. I don't know. I don't think D knows. I don't think D read the article yet.
Oh shit!
That's
the
only reason people are mad because it's an HBCU. That's the only reason people are mad.
Okay, let me get everybody opinion. Go, Bell.
Here's my take on it, and my take is a whole lot different. So when JJ said it, I wasn't surprised, because, you know, I know Duke fans and everybody looking at JJ Redick. He's sitting there as an analyst, and that's what he is. I still see the same crappy Dookie that I've always seen. And at the end of the day, you know, I expect that from him. I expect that from Kristen Leitner. I expect that from Danny Ferry. I expect that from just about any, and I'm gonna say like the white dude.
They're one of them dudes I didn't like.
They get Nesbitt in there. What you think, Ned? Hold up, Ron. They get Nesbitt in there. Let me get this started.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't hear the comment. So can someone fill me in?
So if they was talking about about basketball, and Steve, they was talking to JJ about basketball. And
LeBron,
I know you played something about some basketball somewhere in South Dakota, Winston State, whatever it is. As the shun down Winston State as like no one know what it is or where their school is located.
That's not why you said that.
What Sim? Well, explain it to me. That's what I got from it. So you
like I just said, a lot of athletes tell these.
I'm talking about what exactly happened, not your opinion. I want to know that's what I saw.
No. That's what he said, but that wasn't diminishing. No, that wasn't diminishing Winston-Salem State. That's what all athletes tell commentators who did not play at a high level.
Wait, that's not what Gary asked. Gary asked what he said on the show, so I'm repeating what he said.
You tried to spin it.
Gary said, ask what he said on the show. I'm repeating what he said.
There's no spin zone, ain't it?
No, but then you added trying to diminish HBCUs. That's not why he said that.
Okay, fine. He said, Stephen A., you went to South Dakota State, Winston State, whatever it is. That's what he said.
He put the 3 games on it. The 3 games you played before you dislocated your knee too. He didn't say the whole thing, but
he did not say that.
Well, okay, Gary. So you got the gist. What's your take?
Well, without seeing it like you all have, and just hearing what I just heard, it just sounded like the man just didn't know. I mean, there's a lot of universities, there's a lot of colleges all throughout the U.S. I know he's an analyst. I know he probably knows a lot. He could have got. How do we know it wasn't just a simple mistake?
Oh, I can tell you because at the top of the next hour, he apologized. He apologized.
They did a show at Winston-Salem State to acknowledge HBCUs, and then they did a couple of different remotes where they invited the band. So he's very much aware of where it is and the history of it. So, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say
wait. Being aware and knowing the history are 2 different things.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know his intent, and I didn't see it live. But I will say, I do think sometimes people overreact when people make a mistake. Not to say he made a mistake or did not make a mistake. I didn't see it live. I'm kind of hearing it with everybody's kind of spin on it. But what if the man just made a mistake? Is he such a professional that he can't make a mistake?
You should have seen his face.
I didn't see it. I mean, but
when you get a chance, look at the clip. And I'm not saying that because I'm from Winston-Salem State.
I mean,
look at the clip. It was very condescending.
The man put on blackface. He made a mistake.
I tell you what. Sign off, pull the clip up, and come back on. Pull the clip up and come back on.
There's a lot of Winston-Salem State bias here. I'm pretty sure people like me, like other people who not went to Winston-Salem State or HQ, didn't really care because that's how all athletes talk to commentators. That's how they do it.
I think one of the things,
like Gary said, everyone's reactionary. I
think one of the things is really different. Like a friend of mine has asked me a question, and it's not necessarily because it's my alma mater. I said it just like this. A lot of these sports entertainers / authors or whatever they do, it's entertainment truly to them. It's not what they were brought up on, journalism and impartiality. So they're going to show those things and they're going to say things that are going to throw people off when they say it. So his pride in his school and his lack of play is a whole other different story. But the one thing I want y'all to think about this. Whenever somebody is trying to invalidate a person, they always seek the name call.
I got the statement when you're ready.
Watch how people name call or belittle when they're trying to cut you low, or when the argument. And all I'm saying is Stephen A. is an entertainer now. He's not a journalist anymore. He crossed that lexicon. He crossed that lexicon a long time ago. So when dude said what he said, it was what it was to me.
Okay, here goes the statement. Well, you didn't play, Stephen A. Reddit replied. You didn't play. You don't understand athletic mortality. 3 games at wherever, South Dakota, Winston State, doesn't count. That's the statement.
I mean, where did he play ball? Where did he play ball?
Stephen A. Smith played 3 games at Winston-Salem State, and I guess blew his knee out.
Yeah, Stephen A. went to Winston-Salem State, but to say to man, you didn't play, you don't understand athletic mortality. 3 games at wherever, South Dakota, with some state, doesn't count.
Okay.
Agreed. Agreed. But I'm gonna say this: as a grad at the university, love the school. I even like Stephen A. for all he's accomplished. I think the one thing we gotta also remember, the type of TV that they do, you gotta shock people every now and again. So part of being Howard Stern is you got a lot of people that hate you and a lot of people that love you. And that's what moves the needle in the media. If everybody loved you, you wouldn't move the media. Like Michael Strahan is the one person I know that moves the media, and most people like him. But even Deion got haters. You know what I'm saying? Like mad haters. So when I look at Stephen A., I just think it bad. I think it's bad the way he approached dealing with it. Not Stephen A., but JJ Redick. JJ Redick, I mean, Stephen A. was the same thing with Ryan Clark. And they had to squash it because he said your headline all the way back in.
Let's not pretend like Stephen A. Smith is also some moral compass. When you sit here and talk about other athletes, he's been slandering Kyrie Irving all year.
But we're not talking about that. We can't.
He don't like Kyrie though.
We're gonna victim blame the man.
Fine. But if you're gonna bring up that quote, bring up the quote where he apologized 45 minutes later. I don't even know how long of an hour later.
Right, that's what I was going with. JJ Redick apologized to Stephen A. Smith. Things got heated Tuesday morning. Stephen A. Smith traded hard discussion. So I guess he did apologize, and they said they talked on the phone. I don't understand all that apologize and talk on the phone, but I guess it is what it is.
Y'all just spent 10 minutes down. Y'all spent 10 minutes talking all types of mess about JJ Redick. Now when he apologized, it's I don't know why he apologized. What do you want? What did you want from him? He said what he said.
I respect him for apologizing. He didn't have to. Say what he said.
I guess when I first heard the comment, when I first read it and looked at it, you know, my thing was, okay, that was low. It might have been just too low at the time. And I agree with Ron, you know, that setting is to get your jab off, get your point across off. You got to throw the jab to get your point across. I agree with that. Looking at the person, looking at where it come from, I'm just wanting to believe you will show who you are. And I feel like, in a sense, JJ showed who he is. And that was my comment when I was saying about the lateness and the fairy and all that. That's to me is just typical of when you go back to his college days. That's who he was there. That's the kind of thing he would say then, and he's still saying it now as a grown man, as an adult. So
it's trash talk too. Yeah, it's banner. It's like winning an argument. I gotta win an argument.
He's a grown man Duke, as well as saying show me because JJ Redick talks up every athlete that you see on TV, saying there's one thing that just happened to be about HBCU that he then apologized for. It's his whole character now.
Say nothing about his character. I'm not saying nothing. That's not my issue.
If I talk about his character, it's mostly out of jokes because I really don't know his character. But at the end of the day, he still sucks. That's just Duke, North Carolina bias. Like Michael Jordan ain't said nothing worse. Oh my, he has. Oh no, he hasn't. But you got to choose. Do people talk all kinds of mad noise about, and the first person they want to bring out of North Carolina is Jordan, and then they got Jordans.
Honestly, the first person I bring up with North Carolina is Vince Carter, but that's me personally.
Oh, so Carmelo retired. Is he Hall of Fame?
I was about to ask you about that because I had a question. I had a specific question about Melo. So I was gonna. This is gonna be to the panel. Since Melo retired earlier this year, Hall of Famer if he's first ballot or not. That's an opinion. I was gonna ask if anyone had like a specific like Carmelo Anthony moment that they remember about his career. Because I can go first. Because specifically, mine was if you remember in the I don't know if it was in a Garden or if it was at a United Center against the Bulls. Dribble down, pull up three in overtime, and then in overtime, dribble down same spot, pull up three to win the game. That's one of my favorite moments is remembering Melo off the top of my head. I was gonna ask if anyone had a specific moment from Melo. It would be college, league, pro, overseas.
My moment was when they were playing the Lakers, and I can't remember the year. They were playing the Lakers, and Carmelo and Kobe decided to D each other up and go at it in the middle of the game. And it was surprising to me because everybody knows Carmelo don't do a lot of defense. But him and Kobe had a little something going on that night, and I was impressed by the defense he was putting on Kobe for that little exchange. So that was my moment.
You sure Kobe wasn't giving him a?
I'm looking at this man's stats, man. Melo he averaged 22 and 6 over his career.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. That's what I say. First ballot. I was just.
And that's not the peak of his career. That's you're averaging in when he got a little bit old. But if you look at the peak of his career, he put
it was higher. Well, it would have been higher.
30s. No, it wasn't.
You know, I don't have one particular moment, but I will say I love to see him get into his groove. When he get into his groove, that is like, man, it was almost like it was so raw and genuine. It's like, ooh, you see him moving into it, like feed me the ball, cause I'm good right now. It reminds me of being at the park or something. Like, yeah, I'm good. He and that's how he kind of portrayed himself as just a good down home, good homeboy, down to earth, cool and whatnot. And that's what made me that's my appreciation of Melo. As far as Hall of Fame, I feel like he's first team. You know, I was talking to us earlier. My only problem with it is I just feel like they're gonna give him some grief without not winning and whatnot. I know he did a lot of stuff in the Olympics, and I think don't he lead? Well, at one point he led the Olympics in the scoring, but I think KD might have taken that. But
yeah, and he got a ring at Syracuse.
Yeah, and I feel like he's a Hall of Famer, but I just think they're gonna kind of give him a little grief.
I think Melo could. It wasn't a bad shot on the floor for Melo. He can do it from the three. He can do it for the mid range. He can take you in the box. He can weigh you on the post. He was one of the first few players that came in the league with that. Even LeBron had that tap when he first came in the league to play outside, inside, bring the ball down the floor. When Melo was at Syracuse that 1 year, he was a monster. That dude was a monster, dude. But he did so much offensively. I think the game changed on him though. When the game went away from that ISO ball, I don't know if he ever could really. He still could shoot it, but I don't know if his game suffered from that. I thought.
I don't know. Somewhere leaving New York or somewhere in between all that, he got
why are you joking? That might have been it.
And maybe because he was in the press with his family, with the family issues and stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of looked at him that way, which I think is wrong. But you know, the NBA do a lot of things that's wrong. At the end of the day, you know, you can't deny the man. And guess what? Melo could jump, but he wasn't really a high flyer.
No, he played on the rim. Hey, I thought LeBron should have picked him instead of Bosh to go to Miami.
That wasn't.
But he did.
I saw something there. He did. The problem was, Melo had a 4-year deal, whereas the other three had a 3-year. So when all of them went to Miami, Melo still had 1 more year in New York. So he'd have to trade him to Miami.
Melo wouldn't take no cuts. But Melo wanted all his bread. Melo
It was that too. It was
He
both.
wanted all his bread. That's why he wasn't on some of those winning teams. By the
Jump in there,
time,
G, you quiet over there, buddy.
Oh no, I agree. I'm listening. I agree.
so that man, it was Melo was always about his bread and individual performance. Because you know, it was sometimes when Jen and you know, Carl be trying to play games with people's heads, but he ran Carmelo out of it.
Yeah.
That was a good team. That the Birdman was on their team. That
Yeah,
They
there was
had a lot of
like
solid
one
players.
year where it was him and AI.
No, I think he's gonna retire too, ain't it? Andre Iguodala.
Say
Is he
again?
gonna be a coach? Is he coaching style? Is he coach potential or what?
Melo? No.
No, Andre AI. That's an AI
Oh,
about to
Andre?
retire too, ain't it?
Iguodala. Coaching material.
Coaching material.
Is he Hall of
Who
Fame?
who you talking about?
AI, Andre Iguodala from
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, he can do the coaching, but Al ain't doing no coaching.
No.
Like, you know,
Melo gonna ride off in the sunset. He on. I
you
think.
probably
Melo
at some
got
point you think Melo's gonna get bored and join that big three. You may see him in like just a random tournament. That's what Melo's gonna be doing.
Melo done. I think them knees.
Melo was on some different stuff, man. God dang.
Is Iguodala a Hall of Famer?
He got a Finals MVP. So
No.
I wouldn't say first ballot.
No.
He got a Finals
Not
MVP
second ballot
and
neither.
3 rings.
No.
Listen.
How many rings he got?
Listen.
No.
How many rings who got?
AI, Andre Iguodala.
Zero.
No, he's not.
No,
Hall of
AI.
Fame.
Oh, Andre Iguodala. I think he got two. I think 2 or 3.
But no, he's
Four-time.
not
I'm
Hall of
sorry.
Fame.
4-time NBA champion and a Finals MVP.
If
No, he's not Hall
Iguodala
of Fame.
make it to the Hall of Fame, they better put Michael Cooper in the Hall of Fame.
Right. No, he don't make the Hall of Fame. No. Robert Ory need to be in the Hall of Fame. He's all our fucking be in the Hall of Fame.
Big shot
guess what?
Bob.
AI in the Hall of Fame. Why not Robert Ory? He got 5 rings.
Robert Ory ain't did nothing but hit one shot.
That's my point. If you gonna put AI in, you gotta put Robert Ory in.
Wait,
Iguodala
first
done done a lot
wait,
more than
Can
Mr.
we
What?
respect the AI name? AI is Allen Iverson. Can we just respect the AI name real quick? Because that's not confusing. AI is Allen Iverson. Say Andre Iguodala by Andre.
Well, Allen Iverson definitely below. I put Allen Iverson in the Hall of Fame. I don't care.
Allen in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I stand on that. And give props to Allen Iverson. He about to grab him a paycheck. Well, he about 55, ain't he?
But he still got about 4 years. He about 4 years, man.
Hey, hold on, young fella. Hold on, young fella. Hey, payday is coming. Payday is coming. So who win the game? So Boston gonna win.
Boston up 20. I do got one. If we trying to wrap up, I got one more question.
Okay.
So it's not about basketball. I think we done beat basketball with a dead horse for the past few weeks. But if anyone remembers, Adrian Peterson, top 5 running back, like at least seen, he at 38, he wants to make an NFL comeback. Does anyone think Adrian Peterson can make a comeback in the league at 38? Now, mind you, he is in like ridiculous shape for his age. But does anyone think there's a roster spot for a 38-year-old running back?
Third down back.
No. I want to say yeah. And he's in great shape. But whoosh,
I'm a fan. I ain't never played the pigskin, but I am a fan of Adrian Peterson.
Me too.
So I'll just say give him a third down carry. Give him a little toss out.
Man, that Bama man, his body, his legs start tightening up on them long runs. He could bust them. And he was a great player like 2 years ago. It would have been good for us to have him back, but they let him get out of the building.
I was about to ask you, a Washington fan, like he was on your team for like one of his last few years. Because I remember he bust a 90-yard one against the Eagles one time. And I was like, oh, he can still do that? I was about to ask, did you see any slowdown watching him play?
What do you think of that, G?
I would have to pass, even with the short yardage situation, Because I remember at one time he had a problem putting the ball on the ground. And that's the last thing you want is a older running back who short yardage that may put the ball on the ground. I mean, that's I think you got other running backs with higher upside that you may want to invest your capital in.
Ron, I know you got to go, but let's talk a little football. What do you think about your Commanders, man? New ownership. Are they gonna fit his field?
Dan is a sucker. Dan is a sucker, Hank. Check me out.
Dan. He sold it though. He done.
No, listen. They trademark Commanders, and their trademark got denied. So they talking about they potentially gonna end up having to rebrand again because of what Dan did, and he had the names. He had he had a couple of names that they wanted. Like he had it was one of the Warriors, and it was a design associated with it, which would have been cool. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
The name.
He let the name go back into the I don't know how it goes into the web base because you can pay for that domain for a certain amount of time, and then if you file a petition, bam, there it is. But he didn't do that.
More over the top. Come on, Dan, you a better businessman than me.
Dan didn't do that, and then that's what it should have been. That's what they should have kept it as. But look, check me out though. It's gonna be an interesting year. I can't wait to y'all. But it's gonna be some shit talking on this joint.
Not really.
I'm ready for that shit.
I'm ready for that shit. Last year, we're gonna blow y'all out that first game. Then the second game is gonna be a tight game that y'all probably gonna win.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm gonna be very real with you. The adjustments that were made in our secondary, the one area that y'all were elite at that we didn't have, y'all had better wide receivers, way better wide receivers than we had cornerback.
Still do.
And, St. Jude's played your boy pretty tough last year. And the rookie, I think he's going to be good. But our nickelback is going to make a big difference. Watch what I tell you. It's going to be a lot. Okay, it's going to be a lot different.
Okay, who's going to guard the tight end?
Hey, listen, you ain't going to have to worry about it because Hurts going to be on his back.
Hurts?
That's right.
The quarterback who squats.
Watch what I tell you.
On his back?
Man, listen, on his back. I'm going to tell you why.
Your stud hurt. Your boy coming back.
Yeah, he coming back. No, he in a contract year. You know that, right?
Oh, what's your boy name? Chase?
Chase in the contract. Both of them are.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. That's a contract year for Chase Young. Okay, that I ain't gonna hold you. I watched Chase Young in Ohio State. I know what he can do. A contract year for him does kind of worry me a little bit.
But
he's trying to get his money.
Both defensive ends are represented by the same agent. So they're both first rounders, both in contract years.
It don't worry me. We got a Pro Bowl O-line. We got a Pro Bowl O-line.
Hey,
let's think who gonna make strides this year? Who I mean, I know we made
I tell you another team ain't gonna make strides this year, the 49ers.
You saying what you saying they're gonna fall back?
They don't know who their quarterback is. They don't know who their quarterback is.
Man, listen, I'm not entertaining that. Listen, I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all a couple of weeks and after the season? Didn't I tell y'all 49ers are going to the Super Bowl?
Okay. Who your surprise team this year, Nesbitt?
Jets. Never mind.
Yeah,
just in the season.
Never mind.
Hey, do you have a squad, Nesbitt?
I can see it, Gary. I can see it.
Hey, see what?
Does Nesbitt have a squad?
The Jets have to win the division.
No, I will say the Jets have a great defense.
The Jets have to win their division, guys.
You say they're not going to win the division?
Nope.
Who you think going to win the division?
Not the Jets.
Buffalo.
I think they got the best chance.
Who you think going to win the division?
So mind you, that actually, you know what?
The defensive coordinator took a whole year. The defensive coordinator for the Bills took a year off.
I thought that the Bills are overrated. Bills are overrated.
So you so you got to go through the Bills. The only thing they're gonna beat the Bills. I don't think they're gonna. They may mess with Miami depending on how Tua come back. If Tua come back ready to play, Miami gonna be a hard out for them too.
That will be.
So I'm thinking they about third in their division, depending on what Tua do.
They were third without Rodgers.
Exactly.
I don't. Man, listen. I think that I didn't see him play last year, but I know a lot of what they said about the defense was elite when Quentin Williams was playing. And Quentin was man.
Young, but that was elite. But you're gonna find the same. I think you end up finding the same.
Man, Saleh is a great coach, man. A defense.
Yeah, they probably the Jets probably would be in the playoffs last year if Zach Wilson just didn't. If he took any type of accountability for his loss, and then just played better. Because there are games where it was 7-7, 7-3, those close games, and Zach Wilson couldn't win it.
So you got the Bills, Dolphins, Pats, and Jets. So last year the Jets was in last place. If I'm looking at the right year, 2022. Yep. So let's go. Let's talk a little football before we get off. This is shadow. AFC North, you got the Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. Do the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl? Do they win the division? First, do the Ravens win the division?
Yeah, they win the division.
They beat Cincinnati?
I forgot Cincinnati. Well, I'll say this. I trust Lamar Jackson more than Joe Burrow. Call me biased, but I trust the league. I trust the league MVP more than Joe Burrow. Call me biased.
Somebody else jump on that.
Well, they'll probably have the same record. I'll say that.
Anybody got to say about that? We good? Everybody good with that statement? Okay.
Oh, I do have one more thing. Somehow the Steelers will be third in the division, but still have a positive record.
Ron, what do you think about that, sir?
Which one?
The first one, the Ravens, the Ravens, Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns.
I think Joe Burrow is going to give anybody a problem. I think their defense is up to speed. I do think Baltimore is an all-around more talented team. The question is, and this is the great unknown, what their offense is going to look like with the new offensive coordinator. Because Lamar can run a pro-style offense. He ran Bobby Petrino's system. So we'll see. I'm thinking it's what I could do what the sports writers do, take the more established quarterback in terms of health and a lot of other different. So I think it's the Bengals.
Okay.
So is this a make it a break-it year for Birds? He
got a contract year. Yeah, contract year.
And what I mean by that is you knocked on the door. You played in one Super Bowl. You keep knocking at the door every year. Is this the time that he needs to do it to get over the hump? And if he don't get over the hump, he is always going to be like
Pat Mahomes' shadow.
I think what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be like a Brady Manning situation where Burrow will probably get some rings, but it will either be he's already 3-1 against Mahomes in the playoffs. But he'll probably get a ring, but he'll always be behind Mahomes. That's what I think it's gonna be like.
Well,
I think he gets 2, but I also think Mahomes gets 2 more, maybe 3.
I'm interested. It's kind of interesting. Nobody said anything about the Browns, and who's the quarterback there at the Browns?
Deshaun Watson.
Nobody's
the tickler is the quarterback.
The what? What you
I'm
call him?
gone on that one, man. I'm gone on that one. He is a freak wild dude, though, man. He wild dude, man. Like, I heard some stuff. I heard some stuff, but I ain't never heard nothing like what Slim got going on. God,
I don't think the Browns go on the top of the division. I think they move on standards. I think they're gonna be better than the Steelers. I think they may be better than the Ravens.
What happened to Tiger Woods when his wife found out about all the porn stars and stuff? What happened to him?
What you mean?
He moved out.
Yeah,
No,
he
out.
he had to go. He had to go.
But it was like he fell off.
Yeah.
That became part of his demise.
Yeah.
You know, his dealing with them porn stars, that was like they kept him at the he was at the top of himself. You know, ever since he cut them off, Tiger been average.
Yeah.
Sometimes below average.
Below it. So you
So
think
now,
Watson the same way?
you got Watson. He get exposed with the strippers. What happens? I would love for Watson to come back and have a magical season, but I don't see it. I see.
But Ben, he had a year off. He got some money, more money in his pocket.
A lot of money in his pocket.
He got a little money in his pocket.
Too much money.
Man, that fool.
He's ready to ball.
He better go back to Clemson and find some of them tapes and interviews he did and the thinking of God that he was doing and all the stuff he was doing. He better go find that person, because right now, and I'm like, Ron, with all the stories and the different things we've heard, bro, you totally somebody else, bro.
Well, the thing about the Browns, we all know they got a superior running game. If they get the passing game going, they may make some noise. I don't think they're gonna win the division, but I think they're gonna make some noise.
So why did you pay Watson all that money to be third in the division?
Well, no. So what I'm saying is
because the Browns are a terrible organization.
I mean, we don't know who he throwing the ball to. We do know he got he got a good running game, but we don't know who he throwing to.
Actually, he may not even have a good running game. Joe, no. Who's no? They got Nick. I'm thinking of the Bengals. My bad. I'm thinking of the Bengals.
Nick Chubb's told that he's a mailman. He toasts the mail now.
I was about to say Joe. I was about to say Joe Mixon may not play, but he's Cincinnati.
Okay, we're gonna go one more division.
One thing, I gotta hold on. Add me back in. I gotta switch phones. My phone's about to die. Just add me back in. I'm about to switch.
Okay, well, thanks for letting us know. What we got going on the scoreboard?
They're up 17, 98, 81.
So Boston, and so can they put up the impossible? Last question of the night. Can they put up the impossible?
Who?
Boston.
Yeah.
A down for 0-3, come back and win the series.
I think they can pull off the impossible.
Ron, I thought you still with us. I thought you was gone.
Yo, I didn't know y'all. I'm about to get out of here, and I don't think it can happen. Fellas, I enjoyed myself. I perked up for a while. Now I gotta do this daggone PowerPoint. Y'all later.
All right. Yeah, can they put up the impossible?
I would say yes, because it's not really the impossible. They were the favorite at one point in time. So they're just doing what they were supposed to do if they pull it off. So I don't look at it as being the impossible. I look at them doing what they were supposed to do in the first place.
Well, the reason I say impossible, because no teams out of 100 sometimes they never came back with 0-3. So and if they do pull it off, how much gas do they have to go against that Mile High team?
See, I'm pissed. And see, if I was Boston, I would take this some type of way. But they're up 16 with just under 6 minutes left to go in the game. And since the 9-minute mark, Spoelstra has set Bam and Butler. So they're not gonna come back and play the fourth quarter. My thing is, to me, that's somewhat disrespectful, yo. It's like y'all tanking. It's like, hell, we're gonna go home, we'll finish it at home. So that's gonna give me every incentive to be like, nah, I gotta go to Miami and win again.
Yeah.
I think that's you got. I think that's how Boston is taking, because if you remember Game 3 when they got blown out, I don't think Tatum and Brown touched the court in the second half.
Yeah.
So I think what I think it is I think this is payback for that Game 3. So Boston's like, hey, we're at home now. We're gonna run this score up, since that's what y'all did us in Game 3.
All right, guys, they write it down. Gary, last word, sir.
Oh man, in case people missed it last week's show, please don't take it personal about Chris Webber. I mean,
You still on Chris Webber, man? Let that man.
Hey, I didn't bring up this time. It wasn't even me. It wasn't even me.
I want to apologize to his family and to him. We didn't mean any disrespect. We were just having a little fun on talking a little bit about basketball.
B, your bad last word, B. Frank.
Hey, my last word is probably gonna spark a big old debate, but here's my last thing. You know, I looked at LeBron in his last series and whatnot, and I thought about a lot of things, especially after his press conference, and everybody questioning whether he retired and whatnot. And I thought about KD, and to be honest, I really thought about KD, because I felt like Kevin Durant was the closest thing to him at some point. And what I thought was, what LeBron has done as far as the teams he's taken to the finals, could KD have done the same thing? And I'm just gonna be honest, I don't think he can. I don't think he could have. I don't think he could have taken a team without Kyrie, a team like Nance, the last team he took. I can't even remember the players. I thought there was a bunch of JV players. I'm sorry.
Was that team who had LeBron had? With
Cleveland. I felt like they were.
Cleveland. You going back to Cleveland? Okay.
Yeah, the last team he had was Cleveland. He took them to the finals. That team, to
Kevin Love, Kyrie.
Kyrie wasn't there.
Kyrie was not there. It was Kevin Love, I think Jordan Clarkson, J.R. Smith. It was crazy. That was still a better team than the team he dragged in 2007.
Yeah, and so my whole point is, you know, everybody, we sparked this debate about the GOAT and all that, and I've learned that the GOAT is really a generational thing, because if you ask me and I really sit down and have that conversation with you, I'm gonna tell you Magic Johnson. That's what I believe. That's how I look at it. That was my guy. I feel like he changed the entire game. And then, you know, you're gonna have those that say Mike, those that say Kobe, and now you got people say LeBron and so forth. It's a generational thing. Will we ever know who's the true GOAT? I guess we can if we put a lot of thought and stats and all that into it. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, I just feel like there's been a lot of LeBron bashing, you know, I know on my timeline and Facebook, and people really ain't looking at the body of work this man really put out, to be honest. You know, he might be everything they feel like he is, but he's put out a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
He's done a good, and he's been good for the game. He's been an example. He hasn't gotten in any trouble. I mean, what more can you ask for? And when you look at stuff like that, from Larry Bird to Magic Johnson to Michael Jordan, those are the type of people that are GOATs. They solidified and they built this company, and he did exactly what was asked of him.
Last word, Q.
Well, first I was gonna piggyback off what Barry said. And I don't know how it's on Facebook, because I don't be on basketball Facebook, but on Twitter it's worse. Any LeBron post, you'll get a Jordan page underneath it, a Curry page underneath it, all LeBron this, LeBron that, Mickey ring. All people don't know how to appreciate greatness. Is basically has been LeBron's whole career. They don't appreciate greatness. They won't appreciate it until he's out of the league. And after he's out of the league, everybody, and I bet even Skip Bayless will say, LeBron was one of the best players I've ever seen play. That's what they're going to say. But as for my last words, That's gonna hit me when I say this. I am gonna get pushback for this. If Denver keeps playing how they playing, and Joker and Murray keep playing how they playing, consistently 30 points from both of them, triple double from Joker, playoff Murray, they may go down as one of the best two men's leagues ever seen. The 1-2 punch.
Okay. I'm not gonna put. Well, the only thing I'm gonna say is, no, I'm not gonna say with what you said. But to be the best 1-2 punch the basketball ever seen, it got to come with some hardware.
Hey, and
if it don't come with any hardware, this is my last. If it don't come with any hardware,
yeah. That's the thing. If they get the hardware,
and I'm not talking about listen, and I'm not talking about one or two hardware.
I'm agreeing with you.
It got to come. If you ask me, a minimum of 3. You got to have minimum 3.
Kareem and Magic got 5.
Yeah.
And Jordan got 6.
Kobe and Shaq got 3. Yeah, you got it.
Hey, but then I agree. And what I meant was, I should have said it. If it comes with the ring and consistency from both of them.
So I'm not gonna debate with you because the future has had to tell the story. But in order to say you're the best to do or to play the game, you gotta have some hardware. So
number 40. This game is over.
Parker, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, you gotta have the hardware now. You gotta have the hardware.
That's it. If they get the hardware, which I expect them to get the ring this year, and if they keep continuing like this, with a good enough credit.
So for you, that's a bold prediction.
It is bold prediction.
Hey, but I will say this. One thing you have to acknowledge about that Denver squad is this. They are playing like it's their time.
Yeah, they are.
Man, everybody hitting shots. Everybody hitting shots.
Yeah.
And when you're playing like that, just thinking about the past, whether it was the pros or college, when everybody is clicking and everybody's hitting shots,
yes,
and everybody's like on,
yeah,
and
it's consistent, and it's consistent.
That's the thing, consistency. Yeah, consistency might be one of the best teams we've seen. Wait a minute. Calm down. I didn't see the Bulls. I didn't see the Pistons. I didn't see
young whippersnapper.
I didn't see random Joe Schmo who went to Georgetown when Patrick.
Well, that's fine, but let me get my last. Calm down, young fella.
That's the excuse. You better go on YouTube now.
And you said you talked about the earlier. The more I check out, the more
allow them to win a championship first before you jump. Allow them to get one. Allow them to get one first. Then we can come back. Quinn, I tell you what, if they win this year, I give you the floor for 5 minutes and you can say how great they are. But you got to get one first. You got to get one first.
I don't got to talk about it. You'll see it.
So for me, I'm gonna piggyback on you a little bit, Bell, before I do my last talk. I don't believe that I believe KD is a phenomenal player. Phenomenal. You can't take enough skill set from that man. But I believe LeBron is more of a leader than KD is. KD is not a leader. He's a ball player. Mm-hmm. KD don't care. And one thing about KD, I don't care where you put him, he gonna give you the same production. He gonna give you 30 and 10. I don't care where he go or what team you put him on. He don't give you no more. He ain't gonna give you no less. He gonna give you 30 and 10. And he's a phenomenal player, but I don't think he's a leader of a team. And that's just my opinion with KD. Hey guys, we went out today and we seen a little spring football game at the local high school, Greenville High, and it kind of brought back memories of the kids playing. So I want to give a shout out to all the parents. Support your kids in athletics. Allow them to play all sports. Allow them the experience to play the golf and the soccer and lacrosse, but also allow them to play the game of football.
The money is in baseball.
But also allow them to play the game of football. You're right, Quentin. Because there are valuable lessons that are learned on the sports field that's not taught in the classroom. and that's something that you can take with you. I'm gonna give a shout out to the young men who are already declared for school. Blake, do your thing. USC number 3. What's number 3 name? You know what number 3 name?
I don't know his name.
Mazio. Hey guys, good job for letting your school already. Hey, go out and have a great year. Hey guys, great show. We'll see you again next week. And like always, may your next move be the game changer. Peace.